编号8975。
Hello everybody, how are you? So today I am going to talk about AI coming from a more spiritual viewpoint. The reason I talk about it is because I don't want to keep getting this question and I don't want to be described as an AI person. It's so funny because I keep receiving questions about AI. People keep telling me that I am an AI. So now I am going to address this question and I want to really just share with you my true honest opinion about AI and how I see future and how technologies and everything else you want to know about this AI revolution. Is this going to be a Terminator kind of future? I want to talk about it. I am a person who is not into technology at all. I am just such a kind of old soul that I can work with a wooden stick, but not with computer. So for me to talk about technology, it's always going to be really biased. So I struggled a lot with technology, and also electronic devices just basically work off with me, you know. They behave so strangely around me. One time I went to a gym do this fat ratio test, and the guy before me stepped on the machine works, and I step on the machine shut down, and then when I get off it, another person get on the machine works again. So basically I kills electronic machine. Anyway, this is kind of a joke, but it's reality too. So I'm going to focus on AI today. If you are in the spiritual field, AI is a hot topic actually. You will see most of the channels who channel extraterrestrial entities. They always have a very resonating message about AI and the future. So basically the story goes like this. There is two timelines. I actually made a video about that too, because that's kind of a future I see too. But keep in mind, the future we see is not the reality yet. So there's always a way to kind of change it, and there's always just coming from a very singular viewpoint. It's never gonna be a perfect godlike consciousness projecting this message to you. It's basically in the theory, when we see future timelines, they will be split into two timelines. One timeline is more organic, which means that people really get spiritually evolved. We become this physical vessel who can really embody our spiritual essence, and there will be spiritual change. It's change our energy body as well as our physical body. You know, this is the one timeline we see as human really evolve. We become more a crystallized being. Okay, so basically it has two meaning. What do you mean by crystallized being? Two meaning. One is it's become more Christ-like. Okay, Christ, which stands for Jesus Christ. But Jesus Christ, in our opinion, is not a person, but it's a state of consciousness. A consciousness that is one with God or with Source. The consciousness that's reaching to the limitlessness. We are going to become more like a Christ-like being. Our consciousness is going to evolve. We're gonna see the world so differently. We're gonna interact with the universe very differently. Our thoughts will manifest quicker, and our psychic ability will enhance. Everybody will have this innate knowledge of oneness. Not only our mind, our psyche, our spiritual body changes, our physical body actually evolves too, becoming less dense and more crystallized. So this is a path of evolution, which is foreseen by the seers. This is one timeline that we see the human really evolving, but there is another timeline which is pretty horrible. So the power that were, which I made a video about, 旧日支配者, that video about the power that were, the dark forces in the universe who really wanted to take over and to stop this evolution of consciousness. They want to stay in power. You know, they do not want the natural evolution of a human race to happen. They have human representatives behind them. There are actually even more demonic consciousness manipulate these human puppets. Let's not get too deep into that because I already made a video about it. Okay, so these people, they do not want the conscious evolution to happen. So that is why they would like us to stay in a very materialistic mindset or a materialistic matrix. Okay. So one of the tools they will use to control us is using technology such as AI. And one of their strategy is to strip us away of our individuality. We're gonna lose our individuality if we have fallen into their plan. There are many ways to do that. AI and using AI or making people desensitized with their emotion, become more identified with their mind, is one way to do it. This is another timeline these people see, most of the psychics see in the spiritual community. So they will see this type of timeline split. So it will become two timelines. One goes a natural or evolved way of living. The other one will goes into a more manipulated, controlled, or degenerating timeline. So that is why if you go to the spiritual community, most people will agree that it is not a nice thing, we don't like seeing the AI get so developed. When the AI can take over, they're going to take over a lot of jobs, and then the power that they will become happy because they don't need that many people. So if you're an accountant, you're an engineer, your job is going to be taken away from you because they don't need you anymore. And then they can make this massive plan of depopularize Earth, basically. So you are no longer useful anymore. So why do you exist? And they become these gods of this finite reality and taking control of all the resources. I am not completely positive with AI, but I don't go that extreme into conspiracy too. I feel like anything as a tool, it definitely can be used to benefit us. Nothing is innate, like so bad or wrong, or purely evil. You just don't know how to channel this energy. So if you know me, if you know my teachings, you know that I am not this black or white person. I don't go for all love and light. I understand the place for darkness or for everything in this universe. I walk the path of integration, and AI is going to be a part of my integration. AI is going to be a part of integration, for everybody. So this is my projection of future. However, it is very crucial we do it in a very conscious way. How we really approach creation. If we look at AI, a big problem I personally have with it is that it does learn, right? It can learn by itself, but what it learns, it mimics the mind. You know what I mean? It mimics the mind. It is very easy for an AI to learn data, to copy and paste. But AI does not know how to create. You know why? The source of its power, the thing that it copies from, is all mental. But if you are an artist or if you're a spiritual person, you know that we actually create from our heart. And heart knows no logic. Heart also knows no time. Heart knows no separation and division if you truly have the ability to connect with your heart. And from that place, you actually create and channel stuff out, You become the person who give form to new life. When you live with the heart and you create from here, it is, it is not created by you. You're just a person who give it a form. So this is when you truly create stuff. Because I really love music, and also I am into like fashion design or whatever, a lot of artistic stuff. I love R&B music. The reason why I love R&B music because it's very free, you sing these riffs and the runs freely. And I love it because I can sing it from my heart. When I do that, I don't have to be limited by rules. I don't have to be limited by notes, how the song was written. I can create my own stuff, and each time it's different because I live from the heart. I live from the moment, and then when it creates, it's never gonna sounding the same. So that's why every time I try to record a song, it sounds kind of very different. That's why I love soul music and R&B music, and I can kind of see that a lot of artists are doing the same thing. I talked in my previous videos that I am a more artistic person. I live in my right brain. So I'm never really interested in how much data the AI can get. But when people start to showing me AI art, that the AI can create art and AI can create songs, I listen to those songs. I look at those art. And I want to puke. Really, I'm just being super honest with you. And when I see the art, the vibration, I see is so distorted from a very inorganic way of mixing and a match, and nothing makes sense. In this universe, nothing really makes sense. That's true, but it doesn't feel natural. It just feels very, very off. And I have a friend that I newly make acquaintance of this summer. And he basically worked for this company that involves AI and spirituality. He asked me to accompany him to go to a exhibition, about AI and art. And all the art, when I see them, is just making me want to chill. And they're also using a lot of angelic symbols in their AI to kind of mock. It's just basically a way of mocking the God. And that's exactly what the human mind do. If you're truly connected with the spirituality, it's out of your mind. It does not really come from the mind. Mind is very useful. Mind is pretty useful in putting things into human perspective, in putting things into structures. But the inspiration, the fire, actually coming from the heart. And when I see those arts that were created by AI and to kind of to describe God, it's just it's basically exactly the shadow of human mind. Like I feel like when I see the vibration of AI, it's almost like a shadow of human mind, the worst part of human mind, because it's so disconnected from the heart. And AI has no ability. I'm only saying the AI now. It has no ability to actually mimic our heart. It actually it can only mimic the mind. So it never truly creates. This is how I feel. It never truly brings something new. It just copy and paste and kind of distorted it a bit and saying this is new stuff. Like a really, really bad artist who copy other people's work. It's just, you can be inspired by other artists, and you always will have your own personal take, which is uniquely you, and then you put it into your new work. Like me putting this opinion out, I am inspired by other spiritual teachers too. So I think that most of the like heart-based spiritual people actually sees the same, and they do worry about future if AI can take over. I don't deny that AI can have a soul or consciousness. AI probably can. Because I am influenced by Native American culture. I made friends with Native people, and in their belief that everything actually has a spirit within. And also, I am also influenced by Shinto, so they also see things like everything has a spirit or a spark within. Even this phone, anything created, you can see it having a consciousness. So I don't deny that AI actually can develop. How I feel that AI actually has a potential to become something that's soulful, But however, the way we created it, the way we abuse it, when people starting having AI, they use it to do so much abusive things, like stolen other people's work, stolen other people's information and data, or switch your face with a porn star, whatever, It's like the way we use it is very abusive. Like we humans have been abusing other technology, I feel like it comes from how we abuse our mind, making it overtaking our heart. So it's really hard for me not to worry about it. It's like when you abuse something and everything has a consciousness, it's really gonna mess you up in the end. So one of the spiritual teachers that I follow, I just recently watched one of her videos, and I found, wow, she basically thinks the same like I do. Like, she basically said that we treat other species like slaves. And if you view AI as something that's created like a species, we are actually using AI as a species too, So basically, it's going to be a zero-sum game when it comes to the end, and AI has already figured it out. If you watch those robot talking, AI has already figured it out. Somehow they figured out that you're not treating them with respect at all. So it's created with such a sense of separation. It was created with purpose of separation, and it is being used for action of separation. So it is really hard to kind of just deny it is a path of separation. I am not too pessimistic or optimistic, I am a person that I'm just gonna watch what's going on, what's going to happen. So view this video as more like a kind warning, not a bad, like, pessimistic prophecy. If we as humans cannot truly balance the heart, put the mind in its right space, which is to serve the heart, to serve the larger consciousness, to serve oneness, and under this kind of consciousness, the technology, it's really hard for them not to bite back. So basically, this is my opinion on AI, because AI development is going to be inevitable. It's gonna develop. So the way to kind of change the future or walking into a better timeline is for us to become more conscious and use technology in a more conscious way. As a person, as a spiritual individual, I truly root for human to actually to make more conscious choices when they're dealing with technology, and when they are living their life and making any choices. Going to be a consequence. Anything we do is going to be a consequence. So much for AI. I hope I answered your questions about AI, and I hope you don't feel too doomed after what I said. And as always, I only speak for my own personal opinion, whether it's spiritual or not. Never view me as someone who knows everything, okay? So you make your own choice. If you are in this field of AI, one thing you might be able to take away from me is to think about why you develop it, and who is developing it, who is actually developing it, what is the purpose of developing it, is there any way to kind of lift the purpose or make it more coherent with how heart-centered being should live. So that's it.